that from the front to back, middle and side. Do that all around in the ride. Go that, go that from the front, middle, back, side, all around. Hello, and hello. It's been a very long time and I have not been recording anything. And how do I look? How do I look? Do I look the same? Do I look different? Do I look fat? Do I look gray? Please let me know. I thought that I should cover something that I have not covered before. Like, what are the main sources of coffee available to us these days? We can get our caffeine from tea. We're going to leave that out. But when it comes to coffee, we have our caffeine intake through instant coffee. Then we've got pods. Then we've got supermarket coffees. Then we've got specialty grade coffee beans that you get directly from your roasters. Then we've got specialty grade coffee beans that you get directly from the source, from the farm. Yeah, you can get that too. So I thought, why don't we start off today with the biggest of them all, the instant coffee. You know, the bane of our existence, the instant coffee. So let's start with that. And by the way, if you guys are wondering what's wrong with my voice, I'm down with a bit of flu. My whole family, we're all down with flu these days. I have done a few videos on instant coffee before as well. You can have a look at them right over there. Instant coffee is basically, in principle, it is coffee which has been brewed and then it has been dehydrated. So that's why you get little powder forms of coffee, and you get that coffee and you rehydrate it to get a cup of coffee. How is it done? How do you get instant coffee? There are basically two main methods of drying coffee and getting that powder form of coffee. One is called spray drying, the other is called freeze drying. Let's first talk about what spray drying is. Spray drying was first invented by an individual called David Strang, and it was invented in 1890. And since then, the evolution of spray drying and drying stuff has been continuing. And it still is. There are lots of things that you get which have been dried off. For example, dried orange juice. For example, dried milk. All of these methods are done through either spray drying or freeze drying. The coffee is sprayed into the chamber through a nozzle. The chamber is very hot, so the water evaporates and we sort of get a snowflake shower of coffee, dried coffee, which settles at the bottom. That's the first method. That's the easier and that's the most cost-effective method of creating dried coffee. The second method of creating dried coffee or any other dried product is called freeze drying. The freeze drying is basically a more complicated method of creating coffee, of creating dried coffee. What we do is, first of all, we create a concentrated form of coffee, brewed coffee. Then we freeze it immediately so that we can get some of those aromas locked into the coffee. And then that frozen bed of coffee, and we take this coffee into a vacuum chamber, and in that vacuum chamber, coffee is dried off through the method of sublimation. Those are basically the two methods through which instant coffee is prepared. Freeze drying was invented right after World War II. It is a method which is considered slightly better than spray drying. That's because some of the aromas of coffee are locked into the dried coffee. By getting coffee which has already been prepared, all you do is take a spoonful and you mix it in water, and that's how you get your cup of coffee in the morning. The second thing is that you have control over the intensity of coffee. You can put a single spoon of coffee in it, you can put 1.5 spoons, you can put 2 spoons, and it'll keep getting stronger and stronger. Another advantage of spray drying or freeze drying coffee is its convenience of shifting it from one place to another. It is easier to shift 100 bottles of coffee or 1,000 bottles of packed instant coffee than a ton of coffee beans. So it saves a lot of cost for a lot of people. Freeze drying is a much more expensive method of creating instant coffee. That's why in most cases it's used to produce what you call premium coffees. Nowadays, lots of companies such as Nescafe, Folgers, and Maxwell House, these companies are making premium coffees as well. They even claim that they're making single origin coffee. Nescafe has its own line which is called Nescafe Gold, which they claim is created from 100% Arabica beans. And they go one step further and they say they've got single origin instant coffees. But this is something which is very new in the world of instant coffee, but it's there and it's taking over the world by storm. Despite the fact that we've got so many single origin, premium, delightful Costa Rica coffee and the Ethiopia coffee, they still have that mechanical flavor of instant coffee. You can't remove that. It's somehow impossible to remove all of that. So the question is that why, at the end of the day, why is instant coffee the largest selling and the largest way coffee is consumed in the world? And it's very simple. It's convenience. People are willing to let go of all the quality and the deliciousness of freshly brewed coffee, freshly ground and freshly brewed coffee for convenience. That's what it is at the end of the day. I mean, even if you look at the music industry, for example, we have little speakers, Bluetooth little speakers to listen to your audio these days. I mean, just imagine that only two to 3 decades ago, how we used to listen to music and how we used to make an effort to enjoy the quality of music through proper music systems and all that. Now we just connect our phone to a little device, a little Bluetooth speaker, and there we go. But the third wave of coffee, which is called the third wave culture of coffee, it is reviving that specialty, that love for coffee. It is reviving that to some extent. I hope it continues. We do see little specialty cafes springing up here and there all over the world. Even in Pakistan, there are some coffees that are springing up. If you're a fan of coffee from Costa Rica, you can most definitely get 4 to 5 types of specialty grade instant coffees which are from Costa Rica. So the consumer is being inundated with options to convert him to instant coffee, and the convenience is overwhelming once again. But what do you think? Is this instant coffee, is it going to change the world, or is the third wave of coffee going to take over? Do you think that the world, now that everything is going e-commerce, do you think that the world is going to be full of cafes and banks, or is it going to be instant coffee all over? Tell me in the comments below, and I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm making a video after a very long time, so I'm a little out of practice, so to speak. I hope you subscribe. It'd be very cool if you can subscribe and if you can help the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much for all your support. And I hope to see you very, very soon. And I hope you have a great day.